Unit 6, Lesson 1, Activity 1, Folding Fraction Strips. Think about fractions and how it's something we use pretty much every day. Real-world application of fractions in daily life is telling time, knowing the half hour, the quarter hour, maybe even pouring a glass of milk so that you have 8 ounces of milk a day. Even going a half a mile if you need to go to a friend's house. We're using fractions every day and we don't realize it. Fractions are very important in our lives. And today we're going to learn how to make some fraction strips. Fractions are usually divided into fractional parts, such as a food item. Fractions represent parts of one whole. They actually represent exactly equal shares mathematically. But in real-world situations, like sharing an apple with a friend, it may not be possible to make exactly equal parts. We just make the parts as close to equal as we can. Some fraction terms can also be used in non-literal ways. For example, when a child says he's 9.5 years old, he doesn't not necessarily mean that he's exactly 9 years and 6 months old. He means that he has passed his 9th birthday, but has not yet reached his 10th. Fractional parts fall between whole numbers. However, in math, 9.5 does mean exactly halfway between 9 and 10. So let's write this down. Fractional parts fall between whole numbers. Remember in the previous unit when we were looking at our ruler and we were counting every 1/8 inch, that's a fraction. It's between two whole numbers. So now that you have your 7 strips of paper, they're all the same size. On one strip, so this will be my first strip, you're going to write the words "one whole" in the middle of your strip. So, get a big pen, and I'm going to write the word "one whole." So from this end to this end is one whole. I'm going to take my second strip and I'm going to take one end and very carefully fold it over to the other end. And once I've done that and my ends meet together, I will pull back here and crease it. So how did we start with this strip? This strip started out as one whole. How many parts did we make by folding it in half? We made 1, 2. What does each part represent? Well, 1 part out of 2 parts, or a half out of the whole. How do we write 1/2 using numbers? Well, we're going to write a 1 over 2. And I'm going to write it on this side. And I'm going to write it on this side. So now I have 1 whole. I have 1/2 and 1/2. I'm also going to draw a very light line right down my crease to show where my fold is. So I have 1 whole, 1/2, 1/2. Now we need to fold our paper into thirds. Thirds are a little bit more difficult because I can't just fold it in half. One strategy is to perform an S shape and then press the shape flat. So if I fold one piece over and then I fold the other piece over until both pieces meet on either side so that I have somewhat of an S shape. This is not one that I'm going to immediately crease as soon as I did it. I'm going to wait until I really have it. And I crease it, and when I open it, I should have 3 equal pieces. This is what we call broken into 1/3. So each box is going to get 1/3. 1/3. 1/3. And I'm going to again draw my lines right down those creases. If it's not perfect, that's okay, but you really want to try and get it as close as you can. The next strip is going to be made into fourths. Fourths are a little bit simpler. Take my whole piece, fold it in half. So I folded it in half, and if I fold it in half again, make sure my ends all meet. It's not something I'm going to do quickly. Now that I've folded it in half and then half again, I'm going to unfold it, and you will notice that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes, and in each box I will write 1/4. 1/4. 1/4. 1/4. And I can draw my lines again on my creases. That one went a little crooked, but I get the idea. There's my fourths. When we're doing fraction strips, we will not be making 1/5. Unfortunately, making a fifth is a little tricky. This time, for the sixths, we're going to take another strip. Again, I'm going to make an S like I did for the thirds. So fold one side over, fold the other side over, and when they match on both sides, I will crease. And then to make a sixth, I'm going to take that third and I'm going to fold it in half. So when I open it up, I should have 6 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you make a third, and then you fold it in half to get your sixths. Each piece will be 1/6. You can draw your little lines. We're not going to do 1/7. Instead, we're going to do 1/8 now. To get 1/8, you're going to fold your paper in half, just like we did for 1/2. If I fold it again, like we did for our 1/4, and then I will fold it one more time to make my 1/8. So you get this tiny little piece, and when I open it up, I'm going to see 8 separate parts. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Label each one of those. I'm going to push these off. You won't be able to see the one hole for very much longer. So this is labeled 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8. And I can draw my line down each one of the creases so that I can visually see each one of my 8s. So there's my 1/8. And the last strip is going to be used for 1/12. To make 1/12, we can fold it in half. Fold it in half again. Fold it in half again. That was our 1/8. Fold it in half one more time. When we open this up, we should have 12 parts. If I'm in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, Miss Harris did that very, very wrong. So if you make a mistake, always have another strip handy so that you can then make it again. I know what I should have done. Do you know what I should have done? I should have made how we made our 6ths. So fold it like I'm going to fold into thirds. Make that S again. Like I'm going to make thirds. So we made thirds this way, made an S. If I fold it in half, that made 6ths. And then if I fold it in half again, now I should have my 12. So I have this itty bitty tiny piece. I open it up, and now I should have 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's all about trial and error to find that right size. Each one of these will be labeled 1/12. All the way to the end. And then I would go through and I would draw each one of my lines to show my creases. Showing each one of my creases now. I show that I have 12 parts.